Okay. Hello, everybody. This is Kyle, and I am here to do a different video. This isn't necessarily a review or a really. This video I is a waste of time, but I'm doing it because I want to get my feelings out, and this is the place to do it. So, if you cannot tell by the title of the video, this is not gonna be a nice video. I'm not gonna be very kind to um Disney, Fox, or whatever. I mean, really, I shouldn't be doing this, but I kind of want to do it because I think it might be fun to do it. Um, and I want to see if it can get more views, and therefore get Disney and Fox to release the damn movie. So, um, let me move that. Okay, where should we start? Okay, if there's anything that I hate more than anything in the world that doesn't have to do with people, but um, production and films being produced, it's whenever a film is pushed. Whenever a film is pushed, it is, I find, the biggest travesty in the world. Now, it can be a good thing if a movie is pushed. A lot of movies that get pushed, they end up being pushed as a result of reshoots and they want to make the movie better. That is one of the things that I believe is what started films being pushed in the first place. They wanted to make films better. So, say if a film was supposed to come out in August, it gets pushed to December because they thought that they, with a bit more time and reshoots, not being rushed to make it released in August and putting it out in December. In December, it comes out and it's a better film. That is great. Um, there are many films that have been pushed, like World War Z. Um, that's it. That at least critically and with the response of the audience are liked. I did not really care for World War Z, so I mean, it's all film is subjective. But the thing that I really hate when a film is pushed is not when a film is pushed to August, from August to like December, because that's September, October, November. That's barely 5 months. I mean, if you count the August, it's barely 5 months. I mean, it's almost half a year, but like it's still in the year. It doesn't feel as gut wrenching as, say, if a film is pushed 2 years. Um, Now, for the life of me, I have no idea why a film would be pushed for 2 years to make it better, because I don't know how many things you can make better. So, um, getting that out of the way, filming, I've had a relationship with films getting pushed in terms of the first film I remember getting pushed that really bugged the living crap out of me was when G.I. Joe Retaliation was pushed. G.I. Joe The Rise of Cobra was one of my favorite films when I was a child, and I was obsessed with G.I. Joe, and in this case, the G.I. Joe films, that when I found out G.I. Joe Retaliation was pushed almost a year, that really grinded my gears. That I don't know if it was made better or anything. I still don't know what happened there. if it was for 3D, if they were to take Channing Tatum out or put more Channing Tatum in, if they were gonna do this, if they were gonna give The Rock more of a role, if they were gonna, you know, do something. I don't know what happened with G.I. Joe Retaliation. If you guys know, let me know. But that was the first time. And then any time a film has gone pushed, it still bugged the crap out of me. Now, let's get to the topic at hand, and that is New Mutants. My God, what is wrong with this movie? It was supposed to be released in April of 2018. I was so excited for this film. I saw the trailer in like November of 2017. The trailer was released in November of 2017. I believe I remember seeing production stills back, was it April of 2017? It was a huge deal. I remember I was probably still in high school when the movie was being made. And what was annoying about it was that they were really going for something that was different. I think it's imperative for a lot of comic book films, superhero genre films, to stay away from what is the same. Um, Logan was on the right track. Logan was going for a film that was like a Western type feel. Deadpool was on the right track, a film that was going for a lot more comedy. And now we have movies like Thor Ragnarok, um, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness coming out that are starting to embrace that. Um, that is where you go. The Dark Knight is by far the standard of where you should go. But I love how movies are starting, at least comic book films are starting to go in different directions. Um, and the New Mutants is going in a different direction, and that's a great thing. But we don't know the script of the film. We don't know what's going to happen in the film, aside from what we may have seen in one trailer. They released a trailer to this movie in 2017 of a finished film. Well, it wasn't finished yet, but it was they did enough of it to release a trailer. And the trailer, I will say, was not my favorite trailer I've ever seen. In fact, I thought the trailer was like it was even at the cusp of it looking like a terrible movie. Definitely a movie that if I wasn't a fan of X-Men, I probably wouldn't have seen. But I still love the actors in it. Anya Taylor-Joy is one of my favorite actresses of all time. Anything she's in turns to gold. Maisie Williams is one of my favorite actresses. When the trailer of New Mutants was released, I hadn't even seen Stranger Things yet, and now since I've watched all the seasons, I am a fan of Charlie Heaton. Um, Alice Braga, I believe that's her name. She was in Predators. I love her in Predators. I love her in Repo Men. I love everything she's in. I love her action, her acting. I I couldn't wait for this film, even though the trailer was. I was excited for this movie. I was so excited for this film. I went to my comic book shop and I was buying some old New Mutants comics before this movie came out, like a year ahead of time. And then I decided to read some comics online of New Mutants, and I was becoming in the entire mindset of the New Mutants. I became a fan of the New Mutants comics. I love the New Mutants comics. I think the New Mutants comics are some of the best comics, and I think a lot more kids, adults in them, they should read those comics because I feel what Chris Claremont did and Bill Sienkiewicz did to those comics is very reminiscent of what Stan Lee, Steve Ditko, Jack Kirby did when they came up with the Marvel characters. And also, it is more in tune to what we see in films today with superhero films. The characters are all great. I love Cannonball. I love Magic. I love Wolfsbane. I love Randy. I love Danny. I love all these characters. And then I was probably reading about 20 New Mutants comics, and I find out, I believe it was the beginning of the year in 2018. It was definitely before Deadpool came out when they announced that huge deal about Deadpool moving up a month. Deadpool 2 moving up a month. And the New Mutants getting pushed back to February. Now, of the following year, February of the following year. Now, what made me want to just scream, and I texted all my friends this. I was in my pre-calc class. I want to throw my phone across the window. Was the movie was being pushed to February without anybody saying a single thing about it. And then we have not even got official word, even then, from people working in the film, working as part of a film, about what's going on. If memory serves me correctly, a writer or maybe Josh Boone, someone came out and said that they're working on reshoots. I think that may have been the first press release. They're going to work on reshoots to make it more like a horror film, because it maybe didn't test well with audiences. Well, if you're making it more like a horror film, why didn't you do that when you started the film in the first place? Like, it just boggles my mind how they have to make a movie more scarier when, I mean, it's almost a year later it will come out. It doesn't take a year. Now, I remember very recently they've been saying that the scheduling conflicts with the actors is a big issue with it. Like that, for instance, like um, at least Maisie Williams, she had to do a lot of press tour, and everything for Game of Thrones season 8. But the thing is, they should have known this unless something happened. And I don't know what happened, but something must have happened for them to become so hasty on their scheduling. Now, another thing that bothered me was that Maisie Williams came out and she said, like, who knows when the hell this movie's coming out? I don't know what she said, but she said something like that when someone asked her about the state of New Mutants. And when they said that, I couldn't believe that, because to have your own actress who dedicates her time and effort to give a great performance to this movie, and she comes out and says she has no idea when the movie's coming out. I mean, it sounds almost like she doesn't even care when it comes out. And it sounds like she's just tired of it. And shame on the studio for doing this, because Maisie Williams is a wonderful actress and she shouldn't be in this position to go out and have to say these things about this movie that she just tried working, I can believe, very hard on. Then I remember seeing Anya Taylor-Joy coming out and saying that she can't really tell us anything about the movie. So I think this was last year, and the movie's still being kept under wraps. So some of the nicest actresses, the best actresses working today, and they don't know what's going on with this movie. And then it came out when, I forget when this was, but I remember it was another situation. I actually forgot what happened, but something. happened, they pushed it again, and it was pushed to August of this year. Um, that may have been, if memory serves me correctly, that may have been because they pushed Dark Phoenix to February, so they pushed it to that slate. So Alita Battle Angel moved to February. Well, Alita Battle Angel moved 3 times. So Alita Battle Angel was in July. Then it was pushed to December, and then it was pushed to February. But then Dark Phoenix was supposed to be in November. That was pushed to February for reshoots. So that was then Alita replaced Dark Phoenix in February, and then Dark Phoenix had to move to June. So it's all a huge deal. And then New Mutants therefore had to move to August because that was supposed to be released in February. So all the Fox properties, everything got pushed everywhere. It's all a mess. But the New Mutants still has the issue of being pushed too far. Now, with the New Mutants, is that when the New Mutants got pushed, it was pushed in August, and we reached like about a couple of months prior before its release. No trailer, no word, no magazine articles, no press, nothing. Zip, zada. Like, nada. Nothing happened. And then about maybe a couple of months ago, a review, like I think, was it a leak? I don't even know what it was, but it was this Disney press slate of the movies coming out for the next 55 years. So it was, I think, till about 2027 or something. And maybe I'll make another video about Avatar. But Avatar was pushed on that. They released that Avatar was pushed. They revealed that Artemis Fowl was pushed. And no one seems to be talking about that. The fact that this movie, Artemis Fowl, was supposed to come out this month and's gone. And they secretly pushed that to like next year. It's crazy. But on that list was New Mutants being pushed to August of. Well, no. Oh no. On that list, I believe New Mutants was pushed to next April. I don't know. I think it was pushed to next April. I don't even know when it's supposed to come out, but I don't care. So now it's pushed to next April. What? Then an article just came out. Was it yesterday or the day before? It may have been yesterday, and it was about how Deadline made this article about a Variety report that said that in a very small part of it that New Mutants is not, since Disney now has acquired Fox, they're looking at New Mutants and they don't see that's going to be viable for strong box office potential. Now, I think this is on them because if they released New Mutants a couple of months before Game of Thrones was released, or around the same time Game of Thrones was released, I would say there would be more box office potential there because people would want to see Maisie Williams in New Mutants as Reign. They'd love to see that. But Game of Thrones is over. By the time this movie is going to come out, Game of Thrones is going to be long past the social pop culture sphere. I don't know how many people are going to want to see Maisie Williams in New Mutants, after Game of Thrones. Like, and I don't know who wants to see Charlie Heaton after Stranger Things. That time they were going to release New Mutants, I felt was the perfect time. They could have got the Stranger Things fan base. They could have got the Game of Thrones fan base. But now it's going to be so long, you're not even going to have, people there to have for your fan base. So there's that. So if they don't think there's box office potential to this movie, why do they waste the time I mean, maybe they haven't even reshot. I don't believe they have reshot it yet. Why do they waste the time to push this film and just release it? They should have just pushed it. They should have just released it in April of 2018. If it tanked, it tanked, and lose their money there. We're talking about a Dark Phoenix, um, Justice League. Um, oh, what is the Hold on, I'm gonna think about it. It's the last. It's one of the movies that got pushed that lost a lot of money. Um, oh boy. Um, Hold on a second. I'm gonna think of it. Um, Dang, I hate when I forget. This always happens. Um, ah, well, sorry guys, I can't remember the movie, but there was a movie that came out very recently that was pushed, and it was pushed for. It had many reshoots, and because of that, it lost a whole lot of money at the box office. Um, oh, this is gonna bug me. Um, Maybe I'll think about it later. Anyway, so they lost this so much money, and yet I feel like I don't know when it's gonna get released. I I'm afraid it may end up like the Roger Corman Fantastic Four film. That isn't that bad. That they never released. But it'll probably end up on a streaming service. They'll probably find a way. But I want them to make. I want to just see this movie. And maybe they find a better way for the movie to be made. And maybe whatever happens, you know, it it becomes the best comic book film of all time. But this is just frustrating. Endless article after article about it getting pushed. It may not come out for another 3 years. Anyway, thanks for watching, and hopefully this movie gets made because I want to see it. I want to see all these actors in it. I love all the actors. I can't wait for this movie. But I think I'd be more lucky. I'd probably have a better chance of winning the lottery than getting New Mutants released to see it released because I don't know him. Anyway, thanks for watching and put a smile on your face.